Hello everyone, I am Darshana Umaye. I welcome you all in this 7-day webinar on Mathematics in Competitive Exams organized by Mathematics Department from P.E.S. College of Arts and Science. Here we will learn the topic percentage. To start with, let us first understand what does the word percentage means. Cent is a word that denotes 100. Like century is a word that denotes time span of 100 years. Per means for every. So, percent means for every 100. It is often denoted with the sign as you can see here. Percentage is a part of a whole expressed in hundreds. Like for example, if a glass is half filled with water, then we can also say that glass is 50% filled with water. Here, the glass full filled with water is compared to 100 and half of 100 is 50. So, half glass is filled with water. We can also say this as glass is 50% filled with water. In this session, we will cover the basic formulas and concepts required to solve questions on the topic percentage. We will see the following subtopics: basic concepts of percentage, uniform population growth and depreciation, percentage change, profit and loss, increase and decrease comparison, successive percentage change, and we will also go through some solved problems. Let us begin with the first subtopic, basic concepts of percentage. What is X% of Y? Like for example, what is 20% of 60? 20% of 60 means 20 divided by 100 into 60. The answer comes out to be equal to 12. Here, the word of denotes the sign, multiplication sign. Next is X% of 60 is 12. Then what is X? That means, like for example, if a test is answered out of 200 marks and student scored 50% marks, then you want to find out how many marks the student has scored. Okay, so what will you do here? X divided by 100 into 60. That is X% of 60. Of 60 means into 60. The answer comes out to be equal to 20. As you can see here, X divided by 100 into 60 is equal to 12. That means X is equal to 12 into 100 divided by 60, which is equal to 20. Let us see some simple examples to understand these two concepts. In a class test, Jack scored 24 marks out of 80. What is his percentage? So, you want to find out what is Jack's percentage. So, how will you do this? Marks scored divided by total marks multiplied by 100. This will give you the percentage of that Jack scored. 20 divided by 80 into 100 is equal to 30. So, he scored 30% in the test. Next, in a class test of 50 marks, Jack scored 45% marks. How many marks he got? Read carefully. It is 45% of 50. That means 45% is written as 45 divided by 100 of 50. means into 50. 45 divided by 100 into 50, that is equal to 22.5. He scored 22.5 marks. Next, we will see uniform population growth and depreciation. If the current population is P and it increases at the rate of R% per annum, then population after n years is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole thing raised to n, and population before n years is equal to P divided by 1 plus R by 100 raised to n. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that if P is the current population of the city, let us for example take the current population is 1000, okay, and the population is increasing at the rate of 10% per annum. 10% per annum means every year the population is increasing by 10%. So, at present the population is 1000. Then the next year it will be 1000 plus 10% of 1000, which is equal to 100. So, it will be 1000 plus 100. This will be the population after 1 year. Then for the second year it will be 1000 plus 100 is 1100 plus 10% of 1100, which is 110. So the population will be 1100 plus 110. So this is how you will get the population after 2 years, where the rate of increase is 10%. Okay. Next is, if the current value of an object is V and it depreciates at the rate of R% per annum, then value of object after n years is equal to V into 1 minus R divided by 100, the whole thing raised to n. And value of object before n years is equal to V divided by 1 minus R by 100, the whole thing raised to n. So there are 4 formulas. How we can remember these 4 formulas? Notice that here, if it is increasing at the rate of R%, that time we use the plus sign. And if it is decreasing or it depreciates at the rate of R%, that time we use the negative sign. Also note that R% in terms of fraction, it is written as R divided by 100, and that is the same thing which is used in the formula for population after n years and before n years. Let us now see one example based on this. In a town, the present population is 16,000. It increases at the rate of 5% per annum. Then what will be the population of the town after 2 years? Here the current population is 16,000. First, note down the data that is given. So the present population is 16,000. Rate R is 5% per annum and n is equal to 2 years. From among those 4 formulas, which one are we going to apply? The rate is, the population is increasing at the rate of R%, and that means it is one of these 2 formulas. The next thing is, The question asked is about after 2 years. So it's the first formula. So population after 2 years is P into 1 plus R by 100 whole thing raised to n. After substitution and simplification, we get the answer as 17640. Let us see one more example. The value of packaging machine depreciates at the rate of 10% per annum. If the cost of machine at present is rupees 18,000, then what will be its value after 3 years? Notice that the question is about the price is decreasing. That means it is depreciating at the rate of 10%. And we are asked to find the value after 3 years. So this will be the first formula from here. After substitution and simplification, we get the answer as 13122.
Let us move to the next subtopic, that is percentage change, profit and loss. From this section, sometimes the questions are asked based on a bar graph or a line graph. Let us take one example. Here on the x-axis we shall take the years 2001, 2002, 2003 and 2004, and y-axis will show the production of rice in that particular year. Okay. For example, in 2001 the rice production was 500 kg. In 2002 the rice production was 400 kg. In 2003 the rice production was 250 kg, and in 2004 the rice production was 100 kg. You can clearly see that the rice production is decreasing over the years. Okay. The question can be asked like, which year recorded the highest percent reduction in the production over the previous year? Okay. So how do we tackle these type of questions? So for this you can easily apply this second formula, that is decrease in the value divided by the original value multiplied by 100. Okay. So what does let's go through these two formulas. Increased value is equal to new value minus the original value, and percentage increase is given by that increased value divided by original value multiplied by 100. Similarly, for the decrease, it is original value minus the new value. Here you can note that for increase it is new value minus the original one, because it has increased. So the new value will be greater than the original one. In this case, it has decreased. So the original value is greater than the new value. So it is original minus new, that is decrease in value, divided by the original value into 100. Let us see one example based on this. In the year 2001, the population of the city was 10,000, and in 2002, the population was 8,000. What is the percentage decrease in the population? So first, let us write whatever is given. So decrease in population is 10,000 minus 8,000, which is 2,000, and we are asked to find the decrease percentage. So that will be equal to this decrease value divided by the original value into 100. What is the decrease value? 2,000, and the original value will be 10,000. So 2,000 divided by 10,000 into 100, answer comes out to be equal to 20. Hence, there is 20% decrease in the population. Note that if the same question was asked based on the bar graph, then it would be like the population in 2000 is given, the population in 2001 is given, population in 2000, population in 2001, population in 2002, population in 2003. And the question could be asked like, in which year there was highest percent reduction in the population over the previous year. So in this case, what will you do? Calculate the decrease percentage for this, that is population in the year 2000 minus population in the year 2001. That decrease in value divided by this original value into 100. Next, this value minus this value divided by this value multiplied by 100. Next, this value minus this value divided by this value into 100. This will give you 3 decrease percentages from among those which is the highest one. Like if you get 10%, 10%, 20% and 15%, then 20% would be the highest one. So in the year, this is 2001, 2002. In the year 2002, there was highest decrease in the percentage.
A similar type of formula is also applied for profit and loss. So, profit is equal to selling price minus cost price, and profit percentage is profit divided by cost price into 100. Loss is equal to cost price minus selling price, and loss percentage is given by loss divided by cost price into 100. What does the cost price means? Cost price means price at which the commodity is bought. Let us take one example. If the shopkeeper bought a book for rupees 1000 and he sold that same book for rupees 900, that means definitely it is a loss, that is 1000 minus 900, so it is rupees 100, which is a difference, and the loss is of rupees 100. How will you calculate the loss percentage? So in this case, the loss percentage will be 100, which is a loss, divided by the cost price. The cost price is 1000 rupees. That is the price at which the shopkeeper bought the book, into 100. So it is 100 divided by 1000 into 100. Answer comes out to be equal to 10. So the loss percentage is 10. This tells us that shopkeeper sold the book at 10% loss.
The next subtopic is increase and decrease. If the price of an object increases by P%, the reduction in consumption so as not to increase the expenditure is given by P divided by 100 plus P into 100, this much percentage. Okay, let us take one simple example to understand this. Suppose if you were buying 2 chocolates for 10 rupees and now the price of chocolates has increased and it has become rupees 20. Then how many chocolates will you buy in order to keep the expenditure same, that is 10? Definitely it will be 1 chocolate, because previously you were buying 2 chocolates for 10 rupees.
Now the price has increased and become 20 rupees. But your expenditure should remain the same, that is 10. And hence, by how much percentage you should reduce your consumption? Instead of 2 chocolates, you will buy 1 chocolate. So it is reduced by 50%. This formula gives us that percentage. That is, by what percent the consumption should be reduced. Let's go to the next one. If the price of an object decreases by P%, then the increase in consumption so as not to decrease the expenditure is P divided by 100 minus P into 100, this much percentage. Let's take one more simple example to understand this. Suppose if you were buying 1 chocolate for 10 rupees and now the price of chocolate has decreased and it became rupees 5. Then in order to keep the expenditure same, that is you are ready to spend 10 rupees. So how many chocolates you will have to buy? You will have to buy 2 chocolates. So that is you will buy 2 chocolates for 10 rupees. So you have increased your consumption and you have increased it by how much percent? You have actually doubled it. So it is increased by 100%. This formula gives us that percentage by which we have to increase the consumption. Let's take one example to understand this better. The price of petrol increases by 25%. By how much percentage a family must reduce consumption of petrol so as not to increase the monthly expenditure on petrol? Okay, the question clearly tells us that the price of petrol has increased and we want to find out by how much percentage the consumption should be decreased. Okay, so it's the first formula, and observe that in both the formulas there is only one variable, that is P. Either P% increased or in the next case it is P% decreased. You can remember it in this way. When the price is increased, you use the formula with the plus sign. When the price is decreased, you use the formula with the negative sign. So in this problem, P is equal to 25 and the rate is increased by 25%. So the reduction in consumption will be given by P divided by 100 plus P into 100, this much percentage. After substitution, what do we get? 25 divided by 100 plus 25 into 100, this much percentage. 25 divided by 125 into 100, which comes out to be equal to 20%. So the consumption should be decreased by 20%. Also note that these two formulas can also be applied in case of comparison. That is, if A is P% more than B, then B is less than A by this much percentage. That is, P divided by 100 plus P into 100, this much percentage. For example, if there is person A and person B. Person A's salary is 50%, so P is equal to 50. 50% more than person B's salary. Then by how much percent person B's salary is less than person A's salary? Okay, so in this case we are comparing the salaries of person A and person B. Person A is getting salary more than person B. We want to find out by how much percentage person B
is getting salary less than the person A. In this case, we can apply this formula. Similarly, if A is P% less than B, then B is more than A by this much percentage. That is P divided by 100 minus P into 100. Next topic is successive percentage change. If there is successive percentage change consecutively on the same commodity, then the final change is not simply the addition, but it follows a formula. Let the successive increase in percentages be A% and B%. Then the effective percentage change or the total increase is A plus B plus A into B divided by 100, this much percent. That means on some commodity or the object, let us suppose say we are increasing the price of that object. Okay, we increase it by A% first, and the second time we increase it by B%. Then the net change or the final change in the percentage is not simply A plus B, but it is given as per this formula. Let us see one example based on this. Two consecutive price increases of 10% and 20% of an article are equivalent to a single price increase of, okay, so in this case on one article they are changing the price of that article. Initially it is changed by 10% and then again it is changed by 20%. We are asked to find what is the net change on that article's price. Okay, so we cannot add it simply like 10 plus 20 equal to 30. Just now we have seen that this is calculated by using the formula. So in this case, A is equal to 10%, B is equal to 20. Hence, the net percentage change will be given by A plus B plus A into B divided by 100, this much percent. After substituting the values, we get 10 plus 20 plus 10 into 20 divided by 100, which is equal to 10 plus 20 plus 200 divided by 100. The answer comes out to be equal to 32%. Hence, the net change in this case is 32%. Notice that in the first case, we have seen the formula for increase. That means the price or the percentage change is increasing. It is A% increased first and then B% increased. But there can be the cases where the percentage change is positive or negative. That means it is increased or decreased. Like for example here, if there is A% increase and then B% decrease, then accordingly the formula will change and become A minus B minus A into B divided by 100, this much percentage. So how will you remember the formula? If it is A% increase and A% increase, then here both the signs are positive. But if it is A% increase and B% decrease, then because it is A% increase, the sign will be positive, and because it is B% decrease, the sign is negative. And positive into negative is negative, and hence this sign is negative. The next is if there is A% decrease and B% decrease. That means A is also negative B is also negative. So it is minus A minus B. But minus into minus is positive and hence this sign is positive. Therefore it is minus A minus B plus A into B divided by 100, this much percentage. Okay. One more thing is to be noted here, that is when we find this final answer, if the answer is positive, that means if we get, like in the previous example, positive 32, so it is plus 32. So if the percentage change answer is negative, then there is net decrease in the value, and if the percentage change answer is positive, then there is net increase in the value. Let us go back to the previous example to understand this better. There are two consecutive price changes on the price of same commodity. Initially it is increased by 10% and then it is increased by 20%. So definitely the net change will be the increased one. Okay, but if the cases are like initially it is increased by some A% and then it is decreased by some B%, then whether the final change is increase or the decrease, that means it is positive or negative, it cannot be predictable. Okay, so once we find out this answer, depending on the sign, you will decide whether it is net increase or net decrease. We shall see one example based on this to understand it. A number is increased by 10% and then the increased number is decreased by 10%. The net increase or decrease is the following options. Okay, so first analyze what is given. Initially it is increased by 10%. Okay, and then it is decreased by 10%. So it is what? This is A, this is B. So A is positive because it is increased by 10%. B is negative because it is decreased by 10%. So it will be, there is an A% increase and then B% decrease. So the net percentage change will be A minus B. A is positive because it is A% increase. B is negative because it is B% decrease. And plus into minus is negative. Therefore here negative sign, that is negative A into B divided by 100. After substitution we get 10 minus 10 minus 10 into 10 divided by 100. The answer comes out to be equal to minus 1%. Now see here, the sign of this answer is negative. What does this tell you? This tells that the net effect or the final effect on the price of the, on the number is negative. That means it has decreased. It is negative and thus there is 1% decrease in that number.
Now we shall see some solved problems on the topic percentage. A bag contains 600 pence of brand A and 1200 pence of brand B. If 12% of brand A pens and 25% of brand B pens are removed from bag, then what is the approximate percentage of total pens removed from bag? So we are asked to find the approximate percentage of total pens removed from the bag. Okay, so students, what we do is, in order to calculate the percentage of marks scored, what do? We take the formula marks scored divided by total marks. That means out of how many marks the paper was answered into 100. That gives us the percentage of total marks scored. Here we want to find out the percentage of total pens removed. So first we should know how many pens are removed, and we also need to calculate total how many pens are there in the box. Okay. So brand A pens are 600 and brand B pens are 1200. So total it is 1800 pens which are there in the bag. Okay. So how many are removed from the bag? 12% of brand A pens and 25% of brand B pen. 12% of brand A and 25% of brand B. Okay. So first we will have to calculate what is 12% of brand A. That means what? 12% of 600, because brand A pens are 600 in number, and 25% of brand B. That means 25% of 1200, because brand B pens are 1200 in number. So let us first calculate what is 12% of brand A. That comes out to be equal to 12% of brand A means 12 divided by 100 of, so into 600. Answer comes out to be equal to 72. Then 25% of brand B. So it is 25 divided by 100 into 1200, which is equal to 300. So how many total pens are removed? 72 plus 300, that is 372 pens. Total pens removed are 372. What is the total number of pens in the bag? It is 1200 plus 600, which is 1800. Now the percentage of pens removed will be equal to pens removed divided by total pens into 100, which is 372 divided by 1800 into 100. Answer is 20.67. The percentage of total pens removed from bag is 20.67%. So this is the correct answer. Next, a person paid income tax at the rate of R% for the first rupees 2 lakhs and at the rate of R plus 10% for income exceeding rupees 2 lakhs. If total tax paid is R plus 5% of the annual income, then what is the annual income? Okay. So initially we will have to write it in terms of the equation and solve the equation for the unknown. It is just given as R% and we are asked to find out what is the total annual income. Okay. So to start with, let us first take that the annual income be equal to X. Then you notice here the tax is paid R% for the first 2 lakhs. That means R% of 2 lakhs. And then for the income which is exceeding the 2 lakhs, how much tax is paid? R plus 10%. This tax is paid. Okay. And the total tax comes out to be equal to R plus 5% of the annual income. That means it is R plus 5% of X, because we have taken the annual income to be equal to x, and we want to find out what is this x. Okay, so the equation will be like r% of 2 lakhs plus, now this is what, r plus 10% for the exceeding income, which is exceeding the 2 lakhs. So from the total income, if we remove 2 lakhs, whatever is remaining, on that remaining income, the tax paid is r plus 10%. So it is r plus 10% of that remaining income. This will be equal to r plus 5% of x. Okay. So it is r% tax on 2 lakhs will be r% is r divided by 100. R% is written in terms of fraction as r divided by 100 into 2 lakhs because it is on 2 lakhs. Okay. Then on the remaining income, tax is r plus 10%. So it is r plus 10 divided by 100 on the remaining income. So it is r plus 10% of this. And what is this? This is the remaining income. X is the total income minus 2 lakhs because on 2 lakhs already this tax we have counted. So it is r plus 10% on this remaining. And what does the problem tell us? This tax plus this tax, that comes out to be equal to r plus 5% of the annual income. So the equation will be this quantity plus this quantity, which is equal to r plus 5% of the annual income, which is x. So we will have to solve this equation to find out the value of x because we are asked to find the annual income. So how do we split this? First write this as it is and then we shall open these brackets. So it is r divided by 100 into x plus, r divided by 100 into x, then this is sign is minus. So it is minus r divided by 100 into 2 lakhs, then plus 10 divided by 100 into x minus 10 divided by 100 into 2 lakhs. Okay. So clearly you can see this quantity will get cancelled with this, and this also gets cancelled with this, and we are left with only 4 quantities. 3 quantities, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, this is 10 divided by 100 into x. This I am taking on the other side of this equal to sign, so its sign will become negative. So 10 divided by 100 into x minus 5 divided by 100 into x, which is equal to 20,000, because this 0 here will get cancelled with this 0 and this 0 will get cancelled with this 0. Okay, and we are taking this quantity on the other side of this equal to sign, so it becomes positive 20,000. And 10 minus 5 is 5x divided by 100, which is equal to 20,000. Then x is equal to 4 lakhs. Therefore, the annual income is 4 lakhs. So the correct option is, here the correct option is 4 lakhs. Thank you, students.